my god! Oh my freaking god!
This story is the stupidest thing I've ever seen anybody do. Okay, that's unfortunately not true, but it's up there. And I really never thought I'd ever have to talk about something like this, because, okay, real talk, I have actually had comments before, whenever I lecture people about rail safety. Sometimes I get responses like, you don't have to preach to the choir on that, rail fans know better. And in a perfect world, I'd agree with you. Obviously, not. Because a railfan has been accused of intentionally derailing a train for YouTube clout. Seriously. Now, the charges against this 17-year-old boy were just recently put forward, but the actual incident happened a few months ago in April on the 21st. It occurred on BNSF, and the train came off the rails at a railroad crossing near Monroe and Juniper Streets at 6:10 p.m. in Bennett, Nebraska. Oh, yeah, he did this, and of course he set up a tripod to film the accident, so he could post it later. Like a complete and utter buffoon! You stooge! You absolute moron! You fool! You idiot! You could have killed somebody! And as we previously established, a lot of us assume that rail fans in particular know better. And we, apparently, have had just way too much faith in humanity. It's one of those things. Now, I do want to stress the actual charges are, of course, alleged. He hasn't been found guilty yet, so it's entirely possible that he may be found innocent, and it was just a complete coincidence that right at the point that a train decides to derail after a switch was conveniently tampered with, that he sets up his tripod pointed at exactly the place where the accident would happen. Oh, yeah, and right after the accident, Genius over here approached the police, asked what happened, and then said, oh, they must have tampered with the switch, as if performing a subtle confession. Just a few odd, suspicious things that may make someone suspect that perhaps he had everything to do with it. But again, not found guilty yet. But yes, he tampered with a switch. He, frankly, just misaligned it on purpose. The train was coming eastbound along a nearby grain elevator when the conductor on board noticed that a switch was misaligned. This forced the train to veer onto a local industry track that happened to have other cars just sitting on it because they weren't supposed to be on that track. They did not have nearly enough space to stop, and thus they hit it and derailed. Now, the engineer and conductor are okay. No one was hurt, but the accident did cause significant damage, in excess of $150,000. And it took some time to figure out exactly what went wrong, but, the child involved in the situation was immediately kind of a suspect because he was acting weird. And of course, he uploaded the footage for all to see, in order to bring more attention to his YouTube channel. And you can see the footage on his channel, though I would discourage going there to give him any more views, because it's exactly what he wants, and I would almost argue that the video needs to be removed, because he does not deserve to profit off of what could almost be described as domestic terrorism. Now, BNSF has their own railroad police that specialize in these sort of investigations, and they obtained a warrant on July 8th to seize a cell phone and a 4K digital recorder that belonged to him, which they thought contained evidence of him committing the crime. There's also apparently nearby CCTV footage that shows him on the scene. Now, the footage doesn't actually show him flipping the switch, but it does show him walking towards the switch and then back towards his car to get his recording equipment. Now at this point, the unnamed 17-year-old has denied doing any of this, but it is, pretty sus. Pretty sus, not gonna lie. And the warrant mentioned that if he is formally charged, which as of the making of this video hasn't actually happened yet, he would receive a charge of criminal mischief of over $5,000. Now, I'm not really sure about the sentencing guidelines as to that particular charge, but it is a third-degree felony, so it is somewhat of a serious thing. Certainly not something someone so young would want on their record, or even if you were old, you wouldn't want it on your record. Really, you don't want to be a felon. And, it's possible he may be charged with that, but as I said, he hasn't been formally charged with anything at this time, though the evidence looks pretty bad. And as far as him getting clout off of this particular stunt, well, his upload is still there, but it's mostly full of comments of people, well, not being very happy with him. You are responsible for derailing this train, and you will go to jail for doing so. As a fellow 17-year-old railroad enthusiast, yes, we all make dumb decisions, but God, how dumb do you have to be to endanger the lives of the railroad crew, as well as any civilians nearby, all for your 5 seconds of internet fame? This is honestly so beyond me as to why you even remotely thought this was a good idea. Have fun with the charges that await you, bud. And of course, you unbelievable buffoon. Oh wait, that's me. I'm very helpful. And I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe, just maybe, yeah, it looks bad, but maybe he didn't actually do it. I would love to be wrong here. I would adore it, if we could all look back and say, wow, this kid actually didn't do anything wrong. He just happened to be on site when this all occurred. Also, I don't really think that's what's going to happen. I genuinely, this is kind of open and shut. It really does seem like, nah, he derailed the train for YouTube. You unbelievable buffoon. And with that, a special thank you goes to all my underwater train finders, Some Dude 267, Orange Glass, Benjamin Owens, Anzac A1, Arthur Roy, Jack Carson's Railroad Videos, Lord Off 444, Iser for 1405, Charles Kwiatkowski, Matt Weaver, Tom Red Lion, NS Productions 8104, Wheeljack 8401, Rescues Greyhounds, The Baxter, Caleb Crosswhite, Andrew Bowen, Josh Johnson, Caleb Brainwaters, Prez Drenton, Master of None, Travis Dolinsky, Jared Brussel, JBL Explorers, Tommy Rossini, Ben McCullough, Panzer Kitsune 131-232, Mark Holding, G-Wiz, Mr. Cerevel, Hayden DeGrow, Metal for Life Guy, No, Kurt Forcum, Ohio Trucker 1, Mr. Sleepy, DM Tribal Typhoon, Harry, Drew Debris, George Kenny, Kevin Wood, Liam Wright, Morris Hillman Productions, NJ1969, Hendrick Motorsports Fan 5, Hannah Bird, Western Colorado History, Ryan Wehofer, Duraushi, Murder Drone Stall, Williard Conklin, Windy City Rails, A-Person 723, William Nemo, Dr. Racer 78, Shimesu, and of course, my dad. Till next time, this is Darkness, individual of fun. Farewell.